Live from the Man Cave in South Parkersburg, West Virginia. This is Roberts Report. Let's talk about it. And now, the host of Roberts Report, Craig Roberts.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Welcome, everybody, to podcast number 6, Roberts Report. Of course, my co-host here, Scott Martin.
Hey, how we doing there?
We have a couple special guests here this evening. We have Andy Walker.
Hello.
And we have Kendrick Flynn.
How's it going?
All right. You need to eat the mic.
You got to eat the mic, Kendrick.
Eat the mic.
There you go.
Make it like you like it.
Okay,
Everyone.
I noticed something. You got to tell me if you guys ever noticed this. The river does weird things to the weather. So I come over here on Corridor D. I'm in Ohio. It is busting ass raining. I mean, got the fast windshield wipers on. Not even fast enough. Cross the Corridor D bridge, start heading up the hill. There is nothing. It's sunny. All the way here, it's
There's
sunny.
an invisible barrier.
But I see that all the time, man. Like, so I work in Parkersburg and I go the opposite way. And like, I know, like in the wintertime, it'll be snowing to beat all hell. Come off of that hill on Corridor D, get down, crossing over to Ohio, nothing. I see that all. Have you guys seen that
Yes.
type of thing?
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
When I used to work for Radio Shack, I was a manager in Radio Shack here in Belpre. I knew when there was going to be a torrential tornado or something or other come up the river because it would come up through the Beverly area there. But there would be, like you say, the river somehow or other cuts the weather in half, and it doesn't cut it in half. It just doesn't make it over. It doesn't make it to Parkersburg. Marietta will get hammered.
Yeah. I've seen that too, where Marietta gets it and Parkersburg doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. Well, we got an exciting week. Happy Easter to everybody, first of all. Just got back from Vegas.
Wow. That never happens.
Yeah, it never happens. Man, we had a great time with Ted and Susan this time. Some of the stories. My wife, of course, I won a little bit of money, $923.
I saw the receipt. So what's the? And I wanted to get the story there. I'm so glad you brought that up. So what's the story? What? 'Cause did she say on $2?
Okay. Let me paint a picture here. It's getting grim. I don't want to say grim as we're running out of money, but it's getting grim because we're getting down toward the end of the trip. And
Play money.
play money, that's correct. And we're over in Mandalay Bay, and we're all just kind of fishing around machines. And we normally play penny machines. We don't normally play the dollars because we're cheap. But even though we play in the penny machines, we're still putting
That's what
two
I
or
play.
three dollars at a time.
In Charleston, I play that one called Hot Penny. That's my favorite one.
But she just went over and sat down at a dollar machine, and the max bet was $2. She pulled 2 pulls on it. Well, one pulls, pushed the button 2 times, and bam, it just started going off. She said, "Craig, I don't know what's going on here." So go over there and look.
Kept on.
It just kept going. I said, "That's a dollar machine. Each one of those are dollars. It's going up to 900."
So was it one of those ones where the light went off and they had to come over?
No, they didn't have to hand. I don't know what the amount is that do that.
So it
but
wasn't that.
No, it
So
was.
she's still got it on a ticket and could cash it in.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah, we just went over to the thing, but
Wow.
did well on that.
Can you still cash even that big a one out on a machine?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we
Didn't
just
know that.
went over to the ATM thing, put the ticket in, and out it went.
Wow.
Yep.
So my question is did you come home with that money?
Oh yeah, that paid for the trip. Pretty much. That pretty much paid for the
I
trip.
was wondering if you all just threw it back in.
No. I mean, well, I don't want to say it paid for our spending money of the trip.
There you go.
So
So
it
you
was
broke
definitely, yes, I would officially call that as breaking even. It was, we didn't lose, so it's breaking even, right?
Right.
Okay. What else did we do? Oh, we went to this awesome show over there called Tenors of Rock. And they did a lot of the our buddy used to be with Otherwise. I don't know if you're
Okay,
familiar with
yeah,
the
I
band
remember them.
Otherwise. He was used to be a drummer with them, and he subs for the Tenors of Rock. He also does a couple other shows, the Blue Man Group. I'm sure you've heard of the Blue Man Group.
Lordy, great show, great show.
Yeah, so he subs for them every now and then. He was playing in it, and that's kind of what got us to. We were going to buy some T-shirts off him. So yeah, let's just go see it. It was a badass show. They did songs from Journey, Queen. They did songs from Guns N' Roses. It was cool because it was just five guys with a band backing them. They had a lead guitar, bass, and drummer, and they did all the singing, and it was incredible. Great show. So I recommend it. Facebook world, go see the Tenors of Rock. So, what else is going
What
on?
hotel did you stay in?
We stayed at Excalibur, and I am going
Never
to
stayed there.
and I'm going to tell you right now that that's probably going to be the last time we go there. Quite
Really?
honestly, yeah, we had a little issue with it. I'm not going to call it out. Yep, I'll call it out. Never mind. We get comped rooms every now and then because we do go there so often. And back in January, we booked our room, and Missy and I both had comps. And what we usually do is we'll book them back to back. She'll do the first week or first part of the week, and I'll do the last part. They had no record of it. Partially my fault for not writing down the stupid confirmation number. I'll take blame for that. But it was their fault for not sending us the email, and even admitted not sending us the email with the confirmation number on it.
I was gonna say, I was like, you should have gotten an email.
Yeah, and they didn't send it. So, needless to say, that's long story short. Probably was our last time staying at Excalibur,
Yeah.
unless they
I was gonna say that's where you
really
always
juice the pot.
decided to stay, right?
Yeah, and
You
it's
said
the
was
second
good for
time-
the money.
It's the second time we had issues at their desk thing. So
I'll tell you a good one to stay in if you're looking for the good budget ones. We stayed in the Monte Carlo once and had an awesome time there and an awesome stay.
they just I don't know if you know, but they are redoing that whole place.
No kidding. Did not know. No.
MGM bought that whole. Well,
Oh, really?
First of all, the area in between MGM and Monte Carlo used to be just a bunch of junk there. It was just nothing.
Yeah.
They took all that out, cleaned it out, built a real nice park that goes all the way back to the T-Mobile Arena. And the Monte Carlo is right there. They built a whole new theater. They're having
Now, is the free tram still in that section too?
yeah, it goes between there and Aria and Bellagio.
In the pyramid one, right?
Luxor.
Well, there's another tram for that one,
Oh,
but there's a
okay.
tram in between Monte Carlo and that.
Okay.
But they redid it all. They put a new theater. They're going to have Bruno Mars there. They're supposed to have, of course, they had Ricky Martin coming up there. And we didn't stay for that one, of course. But
Oh, come on.
I'm not leaving La Vida Voca. So,
I always liked them. I'm just saying.
I don't want to spend the whole thing on, but it was a great trip. And I recommend everybody to go out there. I think Ted and Susan are both hooked on it now, and they're ready to go back whenever we can go to a UFC fight there, because it is so much different in that the atmosphere
I would love
when a
to
fight's going on. That week, just to give you kind of an example of what all was going on, just this little period of time. George Strait was there, Green Day was there, Bring Me the Horizon was there. I forget who else.
That's enough.
So nobody
right
good,
there.
you're saying?
Oh, okay.
But then, of course, they had all their other things like, Celine Dion and Britney Spears and all them people. So,
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that's the sum up of the trip. Great trip.
All right.
Can't wait for July.
Everybody listening online or watching online, don't forget to go on the Facebook page and leave your comments. We will read your comments on the air, and we have our first comment. Steve Smith said, "I think I could take a nap in Kendrick's beard."
Haven't heard that one before.
That's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I'd be
I
scared.
mean,
Thanks,
you
Steve.
might
about
be
that
able
one.
to. I don't know.
That doesn't scare
Pretty
me.
rocking beard. How long?
No.
How long does it take to grow that much of a beard?
I started growing it out whenever I ran out of razors, and that was like a week ago. So
Oh, bullshit. A week ago, a year.
I think it had to have been about a year ago, because I remember having this beard about 9 months ago.
And since this is dedicated to new fathers, does your kid pull on that?
Oh my God, yes. It sucks. It hurts so bad.
So I think with the theme here, or just kind of continuation theme from our last podcast. I say last week, but we had a break last week. So let's go over here to Andy. Andy was diagnosed with MS, and I'll let you kind of go off. I think you said
All right.
2002 or something
Yeah, I was
like that.
diagnosed in March of 2002. But I can look back and see I've had it since teenage years. I was always accident prone. I was always cumbersome. I just thought it was just me. I was always easy to flub up. But come to find out in 93, I was just hired on the Wood County Sheriff's Department. And I went and I did an eye test, and I had a blurry spot show up my left eye. It was like somebody wiped Vaseline on just one speck of my left eye. And they did testing, they never came back, told me anything. And I was the way I was diagnosed, I was in a car crash in 2001. A man tried to beat me through an intersection, so I proved him wrong. He couldn't do it. And they started doing tests on me after that because I had my right arm go numb, my right hand go numb, and they started doing MRIs and CAT scans, all kinds of fun stuff. Came out, they said I had MS. First, they diagnosed me with relapsing remitting MS, which 85% of the people in the world that have MS have relapsing remitting, but I went to a doctor for a second opinion in Columbus, and he diagnosed me with secondary progressive MS, which only about 4% of the people in the world with MS have secondary progressive.
Now let me ask you this: just comparison. You watched the podcast we had with Jason and Misty.
Yeah. Great one, Misty.
Yeah.
Fun.
Just a comparison with the kind that they have versus yours. I mean, if you can't tell, Andy's actually he has to be in a wheelchair where Jason and Misty wasn't in a wheelchair. So if you can kind of
My
the
MS,
difference.
my MS is with me every day from when I wake up, go to bed, and when I'm asleep. It doesn't go away. It just slowly progresses every day. It gets a little bit worse. And I'm sure Scott's seen it over the years. How
Yeah. I mean, I remember when you and I used to go work out together. So there was a time when Andy was walking normal. He was working out every day. He was doing normal things, and you would see it. You would see it progress and relapse, but it's more of a timeline where it gets worse, a little bit better, but then it gets even more worse, and then a little bit better, and as you say, it just continues to progress. But
now, if I would do the steroid treatment, I'd be better for weeks, months at a time. But the problem with steroids is they're a quick fix to a permanent problem. They do just a little bit, they make it better for a couple weeks, couple months, but then when you slide down off the steroids, you just get weak. Would be the best way to describe it. You just fall apart. And when I'm out in the heat, the best way I can describe it is I melt.
Yeah.
I just fall apart.
now that was something you and the other two had in common. They said
Yeah.
the exact
Yeah.
same thing. They don't take the summers very well, especially hot and humid.
I'm doing better now because this medication I'm on, it's called Empira. It's a little over $2,000 a month, but I can tolerate the heat a lot better. And
So
cold.
last week we talked about the new miracle drug. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that yourself too?
Well, that's a drug I don't know a lot about. I'm looking forward to getting on it when I switch neurologists here locally. I see a neurologist up in Cleveland Clinic. I go up there twice a year, and he's wanting to get me on stem cell research when they open it up there to more than they have about 25 people on it right now, and they're seeing mind-numbingly good results from that. But I don't know the medication's name, but I do want to try that here locally.
So let me ask you, as far as where you're at right now. Like, for example, I noticed your speech is better than it has been in a couple of years. Do you owe that to the drug you're on now? Or
Well, I'm on a second drug. It's called Gilenya. It runs about $7,000 a month. And roughly with all my medications, I'm paying about $10,000 a month in drug. Well, my insurance company's paying $10,000 a month. But I can't wait to get on the new medication you were talking about. I forget its name. It's a IV you get every 6 months.
Yeah.
And I do want to get on that and get on the stem cell research as well when it opens up. That's the one I'm betting all of my horses on, we'll say. I want to start the stem cells. That can do, from what I've seen out of Canada, another place to do the stem cells, it's doing the most good right now. Plus, if you're on a research, it's free. So the study I'm going to be on is not one where they take stem cells out of embryos or whatever, fetuses. This one is one they actually take stem cells out of my body. They drill basically into my shins and remove stem cells from my bone marrow. And they take them out, take the MS out of them in some kind of machine, and reintroduce them into my body.
Right. I've
So-
seen this for other diseases. I've seen it for cancer and
Yeah.
that type of thing, and it's worked really well.
I'm hoping it works for MS.
Yeah.
I'm betting on that one. But I do want to try the new drug you're talking about. That would be a fix I would definitely like to try. I don't know much about that drug, so other than it runs about 65,000 a year, so
Wow.
I guess if I was going to pick a drug or pick a disease, I picked one of the most expensive ones to have. So.
Yeah, but I mean, what value can you put on your life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I look back at my past, worked for the sheriff's department, worked for state police as a corrections officer, and drove a truck for D-Bar Trucking, very reputable jobs, worked in a couple bars as a bouncer, and now I'm stuck in a damn chair. But the good thing is I never have to fight for a seat.
Right.
You know, at least you got a. I mean, I'm sure you hear it all the time, but at least you have a good attitude.
Yeah.
You know, but you do. I mean, you have a decent attitude, and
You have to. If you have any type of disease, illness, whatever, you have to be able to make fun of it. That's the way life is. You're not going to
No
get
doubt.
out alive, so you got to be able to have fun with it, joke about it. If not, I could do the woe is me, why me, why me? Why? What's that going to get you? Not a darn thing. I'll change my language. But then again, this is the internet. It's not policed by the FCC or anything, so.
You're right about that.
so Kendrick,
Yeah.
switch over to your challenge.
I'll eat the mic.
Yeah, eat the mic.
Make
Whatever
love
else
to
you're eating.
You're a new parent.
Yes, sir.
How is it being a youngin' and having a kid, being a kid still
I mean,
yourself?
I guess it all depends. I love it. I can see where some people don't. I mean, there's.
Well, first of all, let me just make this straight.
Okay.
You're an awesome dad. I mean, I can just tell from and that's one. If I had to pick any of the younger kids that are parents, you would definitely be one of the first ones for me to pick.
You should see me at home.
Just for the simple fact that,
I'm totally different there, man.
yeah, I bet. No, I know you better than that. But
Well, thank you.
But seriously, you're a good father, a good dad, and
I try to be.
Much commended to you for that. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I mean, all right. So, you asked me how is it? There's nights like you would expect whenever you become a father, where sometimes you just want to go to sleep. Sometimes your kid doesn't want to go to sleep, and I don't know. It's like juggling that right now because I'm full time at work, I'm full time at school, and then I'm a full time dad. So it's like juggling all those things right now. It's a lot, but I also think that it's a good thing that I'm juggling all those things right now because once I'm done with school, it's got to be easier, right? Because I was so used to this load. And then once that trims down, I can focus more on being a better dad and being great at work. But
And you know what? This is a good example. I'm a big advocate on people, getting off their hind ends, and you can do whatever you want to do. Good example right here. I mean, school full time parent. You know, it's tough.
It is.
It is tough, but you can do it.
Oh yeah.
You have to do it.
Yep. That's what I tell myself all the time.
But even, you know, it just aggravates the snot out of me. Just,
Lazy parent out there, or the deadbeat dads that.
you know, get your free this and that. And, yeah. So never. Anyway, it's just.
I totally agree with you on that.
It just shows you can do whatever you want to do. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that we had a son, you know, now, because at first, you know, I wanted to wait. I wanted to finish college 1st, focus on my career, have a really good salary, then have a kid. But it's like people say, like, you're never ready for a child. Like, no matter what you have planned, no matter where you are in your life, you can never be ready for it. You just got to do it and basically wing it like everyone else does. So that's pretty much what we're going through right now. And it's working out great. I mean, I should be finishing college next spring. I still got 3 more semesters. I'm done with that. Focus
What's your
on my
major?
career. Right now, I'm doing computer science. I might continue doing software engineering after that for the 4-year. It actually branches off into 2 different ones, and I haven't looked in a while to see what the other one was, but I think I'm going to stick with software engineering because everyone's doing the CIT stuff.
Now, are you planning on staying here in the Mid-Ohio Valley, or are you wanting to move away? And that leads to another question.
I don't want to move away. It's whatever you got to do, you got to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I got a degree in something and it's no use to me here, then yeah, I got to leave.
So the other question is, have you and your wife as a couple and a young couple starting a family found that the economics here are good for finding good paying jobs for you to have and what, you know, what's it looking like for your ability to
So
stay here?
how's Parkersburg's economy for us? I think it's good. Yeah. I mean, we have some high paying jobs here, but a lot of things that, like in my degree, for instance, I don't necessarily have to move somewhere. I can do work from home,
Right.
sell whatever I create online for, well, it depends on what I create. You can sell it for a lot of money, but, I like the, how much homes are here compared to if I
Yeah, I
moved
do
to
too,
like,
actually.
if I moved to Seattle, Washington, you know, home of Microsoft, like think of how much their houses are compared to little old Parkersburg, West Virginia. So if I can work from home and I can pay less for my house and the property that comes with it, moving to a big old city, you're probably not going to have a huge yard for your kids to play in and your dogs. And so, yeah, I think I would rather just stay here.
If you could do what you wanted to do here, if you're thinking about what you dreamed about, or where would you work, or what would you do?
My dream job, probably be successful on YouTube right now. That's pretty much like right now. That's on the side. I got something in the works right now. Plan on doing that later in the year, and we're gonna see where that goes. But right now, that's definitely something that I like putting my time into. So
And then what about employers in the area? What employers do you like in the computer field, or what are you hoping for?
it'd probably be public debt. That's probably where I would apply to. I mean, I can't really think of any other places around here unless if I'm building, you know, websites for companies. Then pretty much any company needs
Right.
that. But as far as it goes for high-paying jobs where I wouldn't have to worry about paycheck to paycheck like I would with web design, it'd probably be public debt.
Do you have anything? Do you have any inside information about the new Dow makeup, and is IT still going to be contract? Does Dow have central IT? Is it going to be any different under the new company? Do you know anything at all yet?
we at DuPont will know nothing until they pull up the curtain.
Okay.
It's
What's the date on that?
July 1st. July 1st, I'm pretty sure.
What's going on?
Where Dow and DuPont's merging.
Oh.
So most of everybody that I've ever talked to that knew anything about the IT at DuPont, it was all done by contractors.
Really?
Yeah, and it still is. I mean, they all do a great job, but I mean, yeah, it's all handled by contractors, and I don't know how they're going to handle it.
Yeah, I was just curious as to how Dow handles IT, whether it's the same way or whether they have their own IT folks.
Yep. Very good question. So
Yeah, it's something I'd like to know.
Now, is your wife also a career one?
Career woman. She works for the same employer I do right now. We both work for CVS Pharmacy. But right now, with me working full time and being at school full time, she works part time. So on my well, actually, it's not on my 2 days off. She works Friday and Saturday in the morning, and then I work Friday and Saturday at night. You know, that way we don't have to take her son to a daycare, hire
Got
a
it.
babysitter, and none of that. So she's working 2 days.
So
a week
you
right now.
split up the childcare basically.
Yes. Well, I
That's
mean,
great.
I don't know. When's the last time you had to pay for daycare?
Oh gosh, my kids are. I'm an empty nester. so-
Yeah, exactly. It's expensive right now. It's like I totally couldn't afford it. I don't make enough money to be paying,
Yeah.
$200 a paycheck or whatever the costs are, because it depends on where you go. I would have to go income based, and personally, I don't want to put my son in income based.
maybe you should open a daycare.
Daddy daycare. Here we go.
It could work.
Yeah, I've seen the movie. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Except cleaning up the ceiling. That would don't happen.
Andy,
Yes.
music.
Yes.
You're really big into music.
Oh Lord, yes. Who isn't?
Yeah. So
I'm stuck in the 80s. I'm
stuck
still,
in the 80s.
Yeah.
What was your
80s.
first concert?
First concert? Other than Roy Clark when I was 4 years old. Thank you, parents.
Was not what I was expecting to hear from
No,
you.
well, I was 4 years old. Go
Did you have
figure.
long hair when you went to the Roy Clark
no,
show?
No.
Okay.
First concert, Kiss. Huntington, West Virginia. I think it was a revenge tour. 86. No, it was 84 Kiss. I was 7th
Revenge.
grade.
That was after the makeup was
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen the original Kiss but that was on the reunion tour. I've seen Kiss a total of 7 times and loved it every time.
Yeah. Huh. So, what's your opinion on their new lineup?
Well, Tommy Thayer I enjoy his music. He's a good player. Eric Singer is still the drummer. He's been with them for, years. I think it's a good lineup. I think the new music they're putting out, last album I bought was Sonic Boom, and it was a good record. I listened to my age record. It was a CD, LP, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
So, Kiss just, funny you brought that up. Kiss just released a new box set. Did you catch it?
No.
It
I'm
is
sure that
every single Kiss record, vinyl record, that they have ever produced into a box set with every single insert. You remember the Love Gun where they
Yeah.
come with the cardboard Love Gun?
yeah.
$1,600. You get a little.
Something I wish I would never have seen.
So it comes in a little road case,
Yeah.
$1,600. Worth it?
That's more than I make in a month, so no, that's a little bit too much money.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I'd love to have it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I couldn't afford something like that. Now, if somebody out there would like to give it to me, well,
All right, that's it. Start new Fund Me or Now Fund Me or whatever.
GoFundMe.
Yeah,
There we go.
GoFundMe, whatever the heck it is. GoFundMe for Andy's box set.
amen.
I'll start
Sounds good
with
to
you,
me.
man.
They start
All right.
GoFundMes for everything else. Why
They,
not?
they really do.
Yeah.
I think we ought to do a GoFundMe to send me back to Vegas again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to join you on that.
Okay.
that'd
Let's
be
just send the whole crew. We'll do
All
a
right, go.
podcast from Vegas. Might as well do it from the Strip, right next to the Transformer and Hello Kitty.
Oh, there's a transformer on there.
Oh yeah, they got panhandlers all down the Strip. They have
they do the costumes and
they
stuff.
they got Transformers. They got Hello
Spider-Man.
Kitty, Spider-Man, Thor, and then you get the picture with them, and then they hold their hand out. of
$5.
course.
Now that we're
Yeah.
broadcasters, we need to go to NAB. The show's next week, but we plan for
Where's
National
that?
Association of Broadcasters show in Vegas.
In Vegas
every year.
Hey,
They introduce the new broadcasting technology.
that'd be a write-off.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. I
Craig,
still do standard deduction.
Craig,
I
have
could-
you ever worked radio?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Nope.
I know Scott and I both have way back in the 80s again. So
Yep. You were WADC, weren't you?
ADC, WMGP 99 was classic rock, the real classic rock. Not this. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
That was that around Pillow Talk time?
Yes, I was the producer on Pillow Talk. Love songs and dedications. Magic 9, I was the guy that talked to you when you called in for a request.
Oh, okay.
So when I was rock, it was 99Z, wasn't it? That's what I remember.
WIBC
Yeah, yeah.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
IBC was in the old, or in the new, well, now it's old, WADC booth. Because if you remember right, ADC and 99 were in the same building, right beside of each other.
Uh-huh.
They just not, IBC was in the WADC and back and forth. Back then, WADC, back in the IBZ era, it was in where the 99 booth was when I was there.
Gotcha.
They just switched.
Tell you somebody who I'd like to get on sometime is Doug Flint,
Yeah.
Coyote.
Great voice. Great voice.
Yep. And I didn't realize that Alec Ortiz's dad was.
Yep. He's
Big
still
O.
the big O one.
I did not realize that.
WNUS.
So I just saw it on a
Yep.
few days ago. So, Kendrick, what kind of music? We had a conversation earlier about music, and
Yeah.
you threw out a couple bands that I was familiar with.
Well, when I was talking about like the hair bands, or
Yeah.
glamour bands, yeah, I mean, those were the things that my dad listened to. So growing up, that's what I listened to. But recreationally, like in my own free time, no, I don't listen to them. You did get me into Steel Panther, though.
Steel Panther.
I got my dad into them too because of you.
You heard of Steel Panther?
Never heard of him.
Oh my God, Scott!
They're
We're
hilarious.
we're going to listen to Steel Panther here after a bit. Not on the air, just to get a little taste of it.
Show them some YouTube music videos. That really shows you who they are.
Yeah. But anyway, so you more into what?
See, I don't really have like just one taste. I listen to a whole spectrum of things. Here recently, I've been playing just EDM music. Just
There you go.
yeah.
You're speaking Scots language now.
Yeah,
There you go.
I have the Apple Music Pass. We get a discount through the college, and they have a radio station that you can play on there where it's EDM, and you can't listen to that sort of stuff on our radio. So I pretty much have to go there to listen to it. But aside from that, I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything, from pop to hip hop, a little bit of rock, not country. I don't do country. I can do old school country. I can't do the new stuff that they're trying to push out. It sounds too much like hip hop nowadays. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and it seems like the longer it goes I don't think they'll ever get back to the roots. It's just like the further it goes, the more pop it is.
Yep.
I think, a good example would be, I don't know, Luke Bryan to me is borderline. It could go country, but
More
It's-
George
it's-
Michael, in my opinion.
it's George Michael. Yeah.
See, I like that stuff.
George
The
Michael?
more pop it is, the more like Florida Georgia Line, I think, are awesome.
Oh, they are.
Who did the that Dirt Road Anthem song? Do you know who that was?
I don't remember.
Chilling on a dirt road. That song.
I don't remember.
That one's very hip hoppy, but that was one of the few that I enjoyed. But that was
Jason
that's-
Aldean, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
it was.
him. I like Thomas Rhett.
There's a few of them that are just, I think that, you think Carrie Underwood? What's your opinion?
I like her.
Pop?
I liked her
Oh,
original
pop,
stuff.
definitely.
be-
No question about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and that's what kind of bothers me. You had Kelly Clarkson that come off of American Idol, and she knew what she was. She knew what she was, what kind of singer she was. She stuck with it. Granted, she did a song with Reba McEntire, but she primarily stayed pop. And you got Carrie Underwood, pop, went to country to ride the curtail of country,
And then
in my opinion.
Then you got Taylor Swift doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
started off country, and now what's she do?
Yeah. One thing I have to say for Taylor Swift, though, and a lot of people bash her and this and that, I think that she is an absolutely genius to marketing.
To marketing?
Nobody markets like she did. She could be, in comparison, in my opinion,
Garth Brooks.
exactly. She pulled every one of her
best marketing person that ever lived. In
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. She pulled all of her songs off of Spotify. He pulled all of his songs off of Spotify. And, I mean, she connects with her fans. There was, I'm sure it was a promotional video or whatever, but I really think that she does this. There was a couple years ago, Christmas time, she just drove around, randomly pulled people off of her fan club list, dropped by their house and dropped off a Christmas present. But, you know, stuff, people thrive on that stuff. So a lot of stuff to learn from some of the rock groups. I mean, you become big and then you become dirt bags and, you know,
Van Halen.
untouchable. When you become untouchable, I really don't care to go see because, you know, and yeah, I think if you pay for a ticket, then you owe it, or they owe you a little bit of gratitude. So,
Oh, for sure.
but
So if you had to guess, who would your wife say is the only country she really likes? She posted. I'm just saying.
here we go.
This is the newlywed game.
that was what I was thinking. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Oh, she pokes around the corner.
She's pointing at you.
I'll think of it here in just a second because I do know
we
which
already
one.
talked about it.
I'm going to scroll down and see.
It's Garth. She
That's
also,
not the one I thought she would
She
say.
also gave Taylor Swift a thumbs down.
I know she didn't like. She
I
didn't
agree
like.
with her on that.
No, what was the group?
Hey, by the way, Carl Church says I gave him those Skittles.
Yeah, he did.
The one group.
Oh, you did comment to him. I saw that now.
I don't know. I'll think of it later. I can't think of it right now. You always wanted to go see them in Charleston and Huntington. Not the Everly Brothers, but some.
Nitty gritty.
Some old band?
I'll think of it,
I don't know.
and you'll say, "Oh yeah." Why don't you come over here and get on camera with us?
Your hair looks nice.
So Kendrick, let's kind of get back on the parent thing a little bit.
Okay.
How do you handle whenever your friends say, you know, I want to go out, you know, or ask you to go out or ask you to go?
Oh, they already know the answer. I usually don't go out. If people want to hang out with me, they usually have to come to my house.
Now the question is how, on which way would be answered. Would that be you deciding that, or would your wife be saying?
I think at this point in our relationship, I already know the answer. So yeah, at this point, it is me deciding.
No.
But originally, no, it was mostly her.
But what I see there, though, is I see both of you grounding each other, though. When you know what I mean, being each other's, you know, put you back in line.
Enforcer.
Yeah.
pretty much. Decision maker for
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah, you're learning marriage.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's how it's done. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't think I was getting it wrong.
you were taught well.
Yeah, well, I watched my parents growing up.
Well, that's cool. That I mean, the cool thing is though that you're able to separate. You know, and I think that's where I mean, even these days, even some of the parents, it's tough to separate that. You know, when they're at a younger age. You know,
What do you mean
you're-
exactly
So, well, I mean, as in
by separate?
separate your when it's time to be an adult and time to be.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, have fun. And
Yeah.
with friends.
And you're learning it at sort of like I did at a younger age, and Andy, of course, too. I don't know how old you were when you had Darian.
This is my second go around. So, well, it is yours too. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, first go around, I didn't do very well.
You know, you gotta.
And I was everything you're talking about. I was the worst husband. I would go out with my friends whenever I wanted to, stay out with my friends to all hours of the night, and just totally selfish. Too young to be married, too immature, and so it's cool to see people who are mature enough to handle marriage.
It is.
I wasn't.
It's tough getting married early. I mean, it's. Listen, what I say. It's tough getting married early, but just.
You know how long I've been married?
Couple years. I think a couple years.
I think we're
'Cause
going
I remember-
4 years.
Is it
this
4
year.
years already?
Yeah.
I remember when it showed up on Facebook.
Yeah, that was maybe like a year or so after.
Oh, really?
we got married.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old what?
How old are you?
I am 24.
Okay.
My wife's just turned 21. So she can drink now, by the way. She's always not been able to whenever we party.
And I'm sure that stopped her.
It did.
Yeah, we all know that drinking age, that's a rule you do not.
Oh,
you
I
do
did not touch. I did not touch a
Yeah.
drop.
Well, hey, we're supposed to have Sheriff Stevens here in a couple of weeks, or actually next week. So
I'd say the statute of limitations on me drinking are long past, so I wouldn't worry about it.
So, Kendrick, you do you vape?
Yes, sir.
So do I.
I'm about to stop. I really am. I don't know if you saw that post or not.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm just going
It's
to.
funny, you and I are
Quit.
going through the same thing because, so my wife started vaping because she was a serious smoker. So I thought that was great, you know. So she always had trouble stopping, or at least stopping permanently. And so when she decided to vape instead, I was really happy with it. But I just started vaping, and I was not a smoker. And I started vaping because I liked the flavors of the different things. And so for me, it was actually a worse thing that vaping came around, because I wasn't a smoker and then started vaping and really
Because of it.
enjoying it when I wasn't one. And so,
So you align more with my wife.
Yeah.
I used to smoke Black and Milds. I started working at a Taco Bell at 15, and I think
oh, that's how you met him.
yeah. But anyways, the kind of crowd you hang out with and stuff, they have an influence on an impressionable 15-year-old. So, you know, after working there for a few years, I started picking it up because it seemed like you couldn't get a break unless if you were a smoker, right? So I picked up not even cigarettes, just Black and Milds, and I did it without the filter, and I inhaled it too. I didn't smoke it like you're supposed to smoke a cigar. So when vaping started coming around, I was quick to switch over because one of the things I liked about cigars were the flavors. You can go in there and pick you up a grape cigar. It doesn't, exactly taste like a cigarette. So that's why I switched over to vaping, and I've been doing that for, 3 or 4 years now. But it's about time to quit. I'd definitely save a hell of a lot of money if I quit.
And if they had vapes when I was young, I probably wouldn't even started smoking. But I started smoking at 14 years old and smoked up until I was 23. So I lost probably 10 grand in money at that time, smoking over those years.
Yeah, to do it now, I mean,
Oh,
Jesus.
$7 a pack? Wow,
Yeah.
no. I quit when it was $2.30 a pack. And I told myself I quit if it hit $2 a pack. Couldn't do it. I just didn't have the willpower to do it back then. The only way I quit smoking was I got on the nicotine patches. That helped. And I got candy cigarettes. For me, it worked like a charm. Saved a little bit of money while I was doing it, so I was happy.
So you're right about that, though. I mean, with juice and batteries and coils and new equipment. And
Oh, yeah.
It's just as
Dude,
expensive or even more expensive than cigarettes are.
I haven't even bought a new device in a year and a half. The one I bought it whenever it was brand new, so it's lasted me this entire time. But yeah, like each paycheck or each month, you got to replenish on coils, you got to replenish on juice, and it really depends on what you're using. I use premium juice as of late, and that'll cost me anywhere from $22 to $30 a bottle, which lasts me every 2 weeks. So every week I'm spending that much on one bottle of juice, but then it's also for me and my wife. So I'm spending anywhere from $40 to $80 a month
Yeah.
on that alone, whenever I could be taking that money and putting it towards something else. I mean, shoot, that could pay for my car insurance that month.
So Scott, did you get it? I mean, you weren't a smoker and you started it. So would you consider yourself hooked on it? Did it?
Yeah,
Did you get the
'cause
cravings?
literally, because I just started dealing with this week. I actually decided to quit this week, and so I said, when I run out of this bottle of juice, I'm going to stop. Well, I ran out on
That's what I'm
Friday.
doing.
I ran out on Friday, and I also stopped charging my batteries. So I thought, I'm just
Oh, that's
I'm
smart.
going to make
I
myself
should probably
quit.
do that too.
So I get to Friday, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't pick up this damn thing and smoke it now because it's empty. And so I kept hitting it and hitting it when it was empty and more empty and hitting it. And finally, I actually went over to my wife and I buy separate juices. We have separate jobs, separate paychecks. When we got married, we've been married 18 years now, but we never have combined our finances. So she just pays part of the bills, I pay part of the bills.
A lot of people are switching
Yeah.
over to one.
So anyway, I went over to her juice and filled mine up and started smoking it again. So now I'm deciding. Now I'm gonna run out of this tank and then try to quit it. But I literally, and I don't even know if it's physical or psychological addiction. But
I was gonna say I had a question. What nicotine are you running?
it's 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could step down to a 3.
Right.
I was gonna say, at this point, you don't know if you're addicted to it
Right.
or if you're just addicted to
I've tried.
occupying.
I've had
yourself.
3 before, and I've always been a non-addictive personality. Because before I was always a social smoker. I was one of those people that whenever I cracked a beer is when I wanted a cigarette.
Right, yeah.
And then and that's the only time I ever smoked them was when we would go to karaoke or something like that. And so it's probably just wanting it in my hand, more of a psychological
Yep.
addiction. I'm guessing it could be a nicotine.
That's how I am
addiction.
too. Hence the Skittles. Right now, I left my mod in the Jeep, so
Well, we didn't want this looking like a Cheech and Chong show.
I wasn't
anyway.
gonna do it in here.
We know how the UFC party's looking here.
Oh, you love that, and you know it. That's a free fog machine for you.
Hey, one thing I do have to say is it smells better than a cigarette.
Yeah.
I cannot stand getting behind.
That is true. I tell you what, though, still to this day, when somebody lights up a cigarette and takes that first puff, I love that smell, man. When I first smell that,
Can't stand it.
really, I just
Can't.
that very first hit smells like when somebody takes it. Yeah,
Nope.
so
No,
I
didn't
do
do
like
it.
that.
Yeah, and see that. I mean, it was one of that's one of the downfalls of Vegas is being able to smoke in all the casinos.
Still can, huh?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's not a single one that doesn't allow cigarettes on the floor.
Nope. Now a couple of the more expensive ones. Yeah. So some of them do have no smoking areas, but you can still smoke in the room, and some of them have better smoker eaters than others.
Right.
Like we were kind of shopping for our new stay place for when we go back out there, and we kind of noticed if you went into Excalibur, it was like walking through a fog house.
I agree with you.
Then you get down to Mandalay Bay, and it was like,
Because that is one of the things I always noticed about the Monte Carlo too. Is whatever fragrance they pump into it, it always smells like fresh flowers in the casino.
yeah. And Flamingo actually has suntan oil because of the Flamingo and the Margaritaville, and but yeah, I can't stand. I can't. When you're driving behind somebody, you can tell when they light up, and it comes out their window, it goes in your air conditioner, and
And they're littering because they're going to
Dude.
sling that butt right on the.
they're not going to put it in their ashtray. So
No. Well, I mean, what's the point in an ashtray, right?
yeah,
Those are there for coins.
but the whole
True.
But both Missy and I both had congestion and stuff from walking through the casinos out there, and I'm fairly allergic to cigarette smoke. If I go out to a karaoke bar, well, back in the day when they allowed smoking, the next day I would be just completely plugged. So, but anyway, that's
My buddy Corey, who runs 2 of the vape shops here in Parkersburg, he said that their stores now carry fidgets. I'm assuming it's those things you see on Facebook where it's got like a clicky button and it's got a thing you can twist, just stuff for you to fool around with for the people who are in an area where they can't vape and they got something to
okay.
keep them occupied. I thought that was neat.
so there you go. You need a fidget.
I need one for sure.
Now, do you
I don't know about you.
order? And I understand you have a buddy that has vape shops. I don't know how much you want to talk about this, or
What?
be honest. But do you order online, or do you support the vape
Oh
shop?
yeah, I tell them straight up. I mean, as of late, I've had the money to buy locally, and anytime I can, yeah, I would love to buy locally and support them. I always make sure to buy my coils from them. That way, you know, I'm helping them out any way I can. And also here of late, I've been buying my juice, but no, originally I did buy my juice online because it's not as good quality.
Yeah.
It's not, but it is cheaper and I get more for my buck. So
I've always, when I found stuff, I guess on the ones, if I find ones I like where I can order them directly from the distributor, like Tasty Puff is one of the ones that I buy
Tasty
a lot,
Puff.
and I buy directly from them.
That sounds like a Willy Wonka candy.
And one of the reasons why is they actually have 8-ounce bottles. That's
little 8-ounce bottles.
yeah,
Oh, I measure all my stuff in milliliters.
yeah. So it's that,
Do they do it in
large. Yeah.
that big? Yeah. How wide is it?
Oh, like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I had my bottle somewhere around. It was probably about the size of mine.
So I'll convert it because I know like 30 milliliters is common. So 8 ounces in milliliters,
Math and science, not my strong suit.
236 milliliters.
Ooh.
So about 8 bottles or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess then, just based on what I hear here, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to guess that the nicotine in them probably you still get addicted. I mean,
Okay, so when I first started, I didn't know what to get. Get this. When I first started, I didn't know what to get. So the very first juice I bought was 18 milligram. That will make your fucking head spin. Yes.
Real quick so we can get confirmation on here. Corey, if you're still
Yeah,
watching.
you're laughing in the background over
Yeah.
there. So
Corey, if you're still watching, let me
So,
know
yes.
how much is in a cigarette, how much nicotine is, so we'll have a comparison to go by.
So a lot of people smoke what's called 3 and 6 milligram juice, so that's how much nicotine. Some measurement of how much nicotine is in it. So this was 18. So 3 to 6 times that was the very first one I ever smoked them.
if
Like I
re-
said, it will make you dizzy.
Oh, they go up higher than that, too.
Yeah,
If
and that
I
was
re-
the highest I ever smoked. So.
if I remember right, Marlboro Reds had 8 milligrams.
8
If I
milligrams?
yeah.
See, I was thinking it was somewhere closer to 18 on cigarettes.
Yeah, because I remember smoking Marlboro Reds, and they would have that same effect on me. They would they would like give me that dizzy feeling. Yeah.
So are you familiar with popcorn lungs?
Yes, I'm familiar with freaking popcorn.
You ever heard of that, Scott? Popcorn lungs?
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with vaping.
Well, and I'm wondering whether I guess it could have to do with like really
Yeah,
high
right.
temperature vaping. I would assume, right? Because I don't vape. I
mean-
vape on about 450. It's not anything that.
It's still out there for debate, I guess. It hasn't been around long enough for the research yet, but
Yeah,
I
I've
can
heard
tell you from vaping, as long as I have, that I can still run on a treadmill.
Yeah, and that's the
perfectly
thing here
fine.
is so a lot of people talk about how they have decreased breathing when they're on actual cigarettes. I don't have any difference at all, and I walk 4 to 6 miles a day, depending on whether I walk at lunch or not. So if I don't walk at lunch, it's 4. If I do walk at lunch, it's 6, and there's absolutely no difference in my lung capacity since I've been vaping that I can tell.
Right. Corey said that it's about 22 milligrams a pack of cigarettes, and he's vaping at a 6. I'm vaping at a 3, and I suppose it depends on how much you're vaping throughout the day.
So you're equal to probably a patch then.
yeah,
Sort of.
that's another thing. I said I work at CVS, so we also sell the nicotine patches, and the 3, I believe, is the last step in just totally quitting.
Yeah.
And that's what I vape at on a regular basis. You know, I vape the last step of just quitting. So pretty much like quitting right now shouldn't be a problem for me. Right now it's just the fidgeting, but I don't think I have a nicotine addiction. I think I have just
And if you vape for the flavor, there is 0. There is
Yeah,
0
there is
milligram juice, so you're just vaping for the flavor of it.
And another point to make too is there's a whole thing going on with vaping right now. It just depends on how much you follow it. They're going through FDA regulations that are about to kick in. You know, taxes from the different governments, both federal and state. Right now, because there's not enough research, people are debating on whether or not it is safer. People think, you're accumulating water in your lungs and, all that BS. And my point always is tell me what's in a cigarette. And go ahead and Google it. You'll get a list of about 1,000 ingredients, right?
Formaldehyde and
Oh, I don't have a doubt, one bit of a doubt, that a cigarette is worse than vaping.
Way worse.
There's no, there's
proven
no
to
comparison.
cause cancer.
There's no comparison, but I still don't think there's enough study out there for how long's vaping been around now? 5-6 years.
No, well, it's been popular about that long. It's been around a while. I think it was actually invented by a Chinese man. Might have been from the Philippines. I don't really know.
Where it
but that-
actually
that was a
comes
decade
from
or so
is
ago.
propylene glycol is what is used in hospitals to give people breathable medicine. So that's how it originated. That's how it originally originated, the science of it, and then developed from there into a way to. So basically, nicotine is the medicine that's delivered, or the drug that's delivered in the in the vapor.
Right now, that's one of the lesser ingredients too in common juices. It's VG and PG. VG
Right.
being vegetable, and then PG being the propylene glycol. And then you have nicotine, and then you have whatever flavoring you add to it. So it's 4 ingredients.
I've learned more today about vaping than I've
Now, if
known
there is
anything about it.
yeah, and if there is anything that I'm concerned about, it would be the fact that a lot of it is, a lot of the VG and PG is manufactured in China, and the FDA doesn't have a lot of control over that.
Yep.
If I have any concern at all, it's that.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you there, but that's about the only thing I'm worried about with vaping. Either way, it is safer than smoking, but yet the government's trying to kill it altogether.
Yeah, and
But they,
Corey's
but they
given
haven't
us.
killed, big tobacco.
Corey, by the way, the vape store guy, is giving us all kinds of information
Oh, I
here on
see.
the comments. So if you're watching the video, read the comments. He says 15 years ago, a guy in China invented the first vape pen. So.
Yep. See, that's what I was thinking.
So I wonder if you can deliver, or I should say deliver. I wonder if you can take medicine that way.
Yes, you can.
The reason I ask, because remember me mentioning about Nate Diaz with the
You can deliver THC through it if that's what you're.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
You can definitely do that too.
Yeah.
I had something that I was wanting to talk about. Well, let's just switch over here to UFC a little bit. Had a fight night last night. Big record-breaking. Not record-breaking, record-tying.
You didn't have a party for this, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, she had to work, and
Because I was going to say, I found out about this on the news. And I was like, what the hell? I need to check Craig's Facebook page.
it was a stacked free fight. Anybody that is a MMA fighter, if they did not watch that, they missed a dandy, which I missed a dandy because I didn't get to watch it.
Did Missy's boyfriend fight? No.
No.
She's sad.
No, but
What? She has a boyfriend?
Oh, yeah. Ask Craig about him. Actually, Craig's kind of
Which
got
one? You
Craig's
talking
got
about
a man,
Cody?
Craig's got a man crush on him too, actually.
What's the name?
Cody's your boyfriend?
Cody
How
Garbrandt.
old is he?
Doesn't matter. She's going to be his sugar mama.
But Demetrius Johnson tied the most title defenses with Anderson Silva last night.
I haven't seen that.
10. Can you imagine you put yourself in his position. 10 times you've put your title up and have beat your opponent 10 times in MMA. It's a competitive sport. And they're not the same person. You're talking at least 8 to 9 different people. There might have been a couple rematches, but 10 times. And speaking of Cody Garbrandt, there is a pretty strong rumor. Well, he said it himself that he would be willing to cut weight from bantamweight, go down to do a super fight with Demetrius Johnson. If Demetrius Johnson, if you're watching, which I'm sure you're not watching our thing, but that would be
Oh, ye of little faith.
huge money fight. That'd be a huge money fight, though. He's always wanting the big money fights. For some reason or other, he doesn't get the respect. Demetrius Johnson does. He doesn't get the respect. He doesn't get the big pay-per-view fights. But I think that would be a huge money fight. Boy, that would be a tough one to call, too, because, I mean, Cody just put Dominic Cruz to shame, and I don't know. I think Cody could take him. It's not because he's my man crush, but I think he could take him.
Okay, that was funny.
Let's see. What else can we talk about?
Was there anything new on the Mayweather fight at all?
I haven't,
in the past
I
couple
haven't
weeks?
heard anything.
Nothing.
With Connor,
Yeah. Nothing.
No, it's
I haven't seen nothing about it lately.
pretty well dead right now. I mean, I don't mean dead as in not happening. Dead. It just nobody's talking.
Right.
Let's see what else.
The name of the new drug is Lemtrada.
Limtrada.
Wow.
At least that's what the internet says. Thank you, Google.
So I've got something. Since we didn't have a show last week, did any of you watch the Walking Dead finale?
No.
I was gonna
You
say
did.
Missy, maybe
Missy did.
Craig.
You didn't?
No.
Did
I haven't
Craig,
kept
did you?
up with it.
Because I know you're not a fan, but did you watch
You
it?
know what? I actually watched that one. I was ticked off. To be honest with you,
Spoiler alert.
I was ticked off.
That was a couple weeks ago. If you hadn't watched it by now, you deserve to be
Oh,
spoiled.
come on.
I really thought this was going to be the end of Negan because I really don't like him.
You know he's still alive in the comics, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he's still alive in the comics, and it's way far beyond what the series is right now.
Who's
So,
alive in the comics?
Negan is.
But something I do think is funny is they had a great meme out there for United Airlines with
Yeah, I saw
with
that.
with
It was
Glenn
wrong.
with Glenn in the seat.
Jesus.
Said I need a volunteer.
Eeny meeny miny mo.
Those memes are killing me.
Yeah. So here's the thing about The Walking Dead. Number one, if you watch the first episode this season with Glenn and Abraham getting their heads beat in, and then watch that final episode, you would have seen everything you needed to know. So I thought everything in between was absolutely useless.
Oh,
They've been dragging it out this whole time with basically it was just time after time after time where Negan basically just knocked Rick's dick in the dirt until you finally just got sick of it, and I don't know, they need to stop doing that. It was
You know
just
what-
humiliation all season long.
What would make it more exciting is if they rotated characters more. I think people actually need to die.
Yeah, well they
To
do
make it-
kill off a major character every season, so.
yeah.
But you got to wait until the whole season's over for it to
Yeah.
happen. I think they just
So
need to
they
stick it
killed
in
off
there.
3 this season, obviously. So
I mean,
Which one died in the finale? Did anyone?
the African American lady that's going to star in the new Star Trek series, I can't remember what is her name, Sasha on the show, or
I don't even know who that character is.
What
All I
was
knew
it?
Was Michonne.
Sasha.
Sasha.
yeah,
That was a cool way though that they killed her though.
yeah,
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
What
You
happened?
wanna know?
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, it was. I don't know who gave her the pill.
Eugene did.
Eugene. Eugene
Yeah.
gave her a pill, and she was locked into this coffin.
Oh.
And the whole thing was if she was going to come out of that coffin and just raise holy hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen that way. She took that pill, turned into a zombie inside the thing, and come out and attacked Negan. Didn't bite him, just attacked
course.
him.
Oh.
Yeah, and then here come the tiger coming through and knocked him down and didn't bite him either. So, but
Yeah. So this may be a spoiler alert, but again, if you don't know this either, you should. Is in the comics, Negan is captured by Rick, put in prison, kept in prison for 2 years. He advises Rick some during that time. And then at the end of 2 years, there's a new enemy that's just as bad as what Negan was. And so he needs Negan's help to help fight that enemy. And that's where we are. So, hey, Craig,
See-
we're doing a show here, dude. Just in case it's your show too, by the way.
So what you're-
Sandy's fault. He showed me something.
So what you're saying is they pretty much have a character that they can't touch.
Well, I don't know.
the
See,
show.
because you've also seen them do other things different during the show away from the
few
comics,
things,
so they
yeah.
could kill him off.
Rick loses his hand in the
Yeah,
comics,
they
doesn't he?
could kill him off. Yeah, Rick does or Carl does, or yeah, I guess so. Carl
I
with
think
the
Carl
eye
takes
happened in
over.
the comment.
Yeah, I think Carl takes over for Rick in the comics. Is what
So
happens.
yeah, they could kill off Negan, or they may,
I actually thought Carl was going to be done.
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
I thought that was.
I
gonna-
thought they were going to get it. Yeah, I really thought he was going to be the one that was going to get it. Yep.
Dead air.
Well, I don't know too much more about. I don't know too much more about The Walking Dead because that's the only episode I watched this
The
season.
only thing I know about it is supposed to have very good acting.
Actually, I watched the first episode. And I did do that. Come to think of it, I watched the first and watched the.
Yeah, there
The
you
big
go. That's all you
episode.
need to watch. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah, I watched the first one, but I guess I need to watch the last one.
So we did start a new thing here that we're doing weekly called "What Are You Binge Watching?" So if both of you have Netflix or Amazon Video or Hulu, tell
I
us what
have
you're binge watching.
everything.
Tell us what you're binge watching.
I actually just finished 13 Reasons Why.
So did
on
I.
Netflix.
Have you guys seen that yet?
I highly
recommend it. Fantastic.
Still
it's
not
about
finished with
teen
Andy Griffith.
suicide and extremely well done.
Yeah, it's
And
very impactful.
you'll see a lot of people posting about it on Facebook right now. Actually, it was
What's it called?
13 Reasons Why. Yeah.
I have yet to watch a Netflix exclusive yet.
Oh wow.
We've
yeah,
been
you're missing out.
You're missing out. They are.
I've
killing
heard
it
that.
We
right
actually,
now.
I actually had a
Killing
friend who was going to drop Netflix because they said that Netflix doesn't have the movies I want to see, and I'm like, man, you're watching it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
You got to watch it for the originals.
because
Yeah,
no
that's
one
me.
else can.
I was
no
one
one
that
else.
said that.
Oh, okay. No, it was. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
Not me.
you, it was somebody else. Yeah.
I was disappointed because Cannonball Run wasn't on there.
No. But that's not what it's for. You know, it's not HBO. And even HBO is that way.
Yeah,
so,
HBO is lacking
So
a
I
little bit,
actually
too.
watch HBO originals too. There's another. I wrote down another one. Amazon has this show called Hand of God that stars Ron Perlman. You know who Ron Perlman is from Hellboy and SOA, Sons of Anarchy.
No.
Anyway, it's a show about this guy who goes off the deep end after his son dies, and he gets visions from God, and it helps him. He's a judge, and it helps him like solve murders and stuff like that. So that's a season. It's in its second season on Amazon Video.
I mean, if you know who that guy is, you just to look at him, you know he's a badass, no matter what he
Oh,
Oh,
plays.
he's so
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Gosh.
He's huge.
It's huge.
He must be like 6'6" and 300 pounds or something like that. I mean,
And
Huge.
200 pounds is probably in his chin.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got one of those deep, manly voices too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife says if it doesn't involve Andy Griffith, Craig will not watch it.
Good one.
I'm almost done with the
so you
collar
watch
season.
Matlock? Ugh.
You know what? That's funny because I used to record that. When
Oh my god!
I used to record it and watch it. Yes, I did.
What is it?
Hang on. 101.5. Help.
No clue what y'all are talking about.
It's a detective show.
It's
that
called-
You never heard of
Andy
Matlock?
Griffith was in that basically old people watched.
You know who Andy Griffith is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what was
he
he-
in
yeah.
a show in it was the 80s, right? Was it 80s or 90s when it was
80s.
80s?
Man, late 80s.
Yeah, I
He
thought it
was a
was
Southern
cool.
attorney. It was okay. I actually watched some of the episodes. I'm kind of giving you shit.
And I like that kind of that's the kind of movie that I like. You know, I like as an example Scream, the Scream series. I loved those when they come out.
Yeah.
You followed it through. You didn't know who did it.
I'm more of
No,
the
it-
scary movie series.
But well, I do. I mean, I scare. That was kind of a combination. I am. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but I cannot wait for the new It movie to come out.
Yes.
I keep
That
hearing
does
about
look
that.
good.
I get. Is there a trailer? I heard somebody say there's
yeah.
a trailer.
The
I haven't watched
trailer
it
is-
yet.
Oh, you need to watch the trailer.
The trailer is incredible. I mean,
Okay.
it's and it follows very close to the original. Have you seen the original?
Yeah, I mean it's been a while, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
I'm-
just about all the Stephen King stuff.
Did you see the video where they do shot for shot?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it follows very closely.
Okay.
Yeah. The only one of the major differences that I saw was they instead of the slideshow they had the book
Right.
back in the but yeah. I mean but the music and the character.
The clown's
it's gonna be
different.
good.
I think the clown's is going to have a different personality than the original. But I think he's going to be a little more sinister than he is. Like, oh, I see him over there looking creepy, but he's laughing. I don't know if that's how he's going to portray him or not, because you don't really see much of him and his mannerisms and stuff, except for that one part. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That part got me.
I
You got to watch the trailer.
I think out of all the, I still like Freddy Krueger back
Yeah.
for my days, but man, that clown. If I was going to be a scary character or something or other, I think a clown. I loved we were talking about American Horror Story.
Yeah, I like the clown and
when they started out with Twisty.
Yeah.
I was
that was
pissed
a good
off
one.
that they killed him off. That was I thought, yes, this is going to be awesome. And then they killed him off, and
Well,
the clown was gone. So
I think it's a testament to the movie that I think it is solely responsible for a whole phobia
Yeah.
of clowns. I mean, how many people do you know nowadays that are terrified
yeah.
of clowns? But how many people are terrified of hockey masks or terrified of going to sleep because of their nightmares compared to clowns?
You never
So that tells
know.
you something about the movie.
you never know who's behind that clown face.
I had a question for you. Do you still watch that Impractical Jokers
Yes.
show? Because I remember you
every now
used to
and then.
rave about that
Yeah.
show.
Oh, that show's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've toned down quite a bit. Now it's more. I don't have to watch it now. If it's on, I'll watch it and I'll say, oh, well, that's a new one. But no, I don't. I don't know. Some of it might be put on now. I don't know. Just starting to get a feeling that. I mean,
you think some of the reactions are fake?
how many thousands of people know them guys now?
Yeah,
You know,
you
how
would think
hard-
so by now.
How hard would it be to go into a mall of all places and put on one of their skits?
Aren't
and
they
not,
going to
and not be seen?
different countries and stuff now too, though?
That would be smart if they would.
I know I've seen a couple where they are, but I don't know if they're just like special
I mean,
episodes.
it's the same
or-
reason you couldn't have a second Borat movie. There's nowhere Sacha Baron Cohen could go in where they wouldn't know who he was. It's
Yeah.
the same deal. Yeah, so you're right. It would have to be staged, some of it.
What was the one guy that used to dress up and do? He would put on the Howie.
Mandel?
Yeah, he used to do that.
Yeah.
Go out and put these big disguises on and pull pranks on people.
Yeah, it's hard to hide that hair that Wyatt had back then. I don't know
Yeah,
how he did it, but he'd do it.
there was another guy
I
that
thought
did
Austin
it too.
Kutcher did that. Didn't he have a joke
Yeah.
show?
And what did what's that?
Didn't
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
Oh, his
Punked.
Punk.
Punked.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just get the celebrities all the time.
I kind of liked Dave. I didn't watch too many of the episodes, but I kind of liked David Spade's show that he had on the Almost Famous or whatever. He would pump people up and make them act like they were going to be on this big movie scene or whatever, go through the whole process and then get down the end and
Yeah.
you were nothing.
Dang.
Comment on Facebook. Nathan Ayers says new season of the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, for stuff that we're binge watching. I never got into
I've
trailer.
seen
Never seen it.
A lot of people, my
know
age,
what it's
anyways.
about.
I'm gonna pull that one out, but a lot of people my age do watch that, and I myself never got into it. Netflix bought them out. That's another Netflix original now.
Oh,
Now, if we're talking about age, I'll give mine. The last show I binge watched was Breaking Bad.
Ooh, no, that's good for
that's not.
that's good
not
for
really-
all ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I binge watched that. Or,
No,
I don't know if I
classic.
binge watched it. There was like a marathon on AMC
Yeah.
back when it was like between season 4 and 5, and I think that's
Yeah.
when I caught up on it or something like that.
There's another new scary movie coming out too. Kind of I think it's Annabelle.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a sequel to the first Annabelle, but I heard Annabelle wasn't very good.
I didn't see it. Missy,
Yeah.
did you see it? Didn't like it.
Yeah, the other movies that Annabelle was a spinoff from. Can't even think of the names of the movies now. It follows the couple.
Conjuring.
Conjuring. Conjuring was great. The first one, Conjuring 2, was pretty good. Annabelle was garbage, and I'm sure Annabelle 2 is going to be garbage.
Nathan also says Better Call Saul. I
Spin
like
off of
that.
Breaking
Good
Bad.
show.
I like
good show.
It's getting better, and they're supposed to break in Gus and Los Pollos Hermanos this season, so that ought to be pretty good.
Saul is the series now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He got his own
You didn't know
spin-off
that?
show. It's a prequel to Breaking Bad.
yeah. So it's about the Saul Goodman character before Breaking Bad. Yeah.
So is it the same as you talk?
Saul movie. You're thinking SAW.
Yeah.
No, but Better Call Saul.
Saul from Breaking Bad, the attorney.
Oh no,
Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
no. But I did like the Saul.
The Saul
The
franchise.
Saul. Yeah.
Which ones? Did you like all of them?
I liked them all.
It got old.
Some
Yeah.
of them were shit.
That was another one that you didn't know who was
Some?
going to be.
Some of them.
at
I
the
agree
end.
with you there. I agree with you there. They usually hid very well who was going to be the.
Saul 2, I think it was the one where it's follows the guy's son, and they all have like something tattooed on their neck or whatever. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that one I think was my favorite one because the twist at the end was probably the best twist out of the franchise for me.
I just don't even remember.
You don't remember the
So what was your worst trap?
the word? Probably the one where I think the one in that movie, the girl has to grab a needle or whatever. I think they're
Razor blades up in the
yeah.
case.
There's razor blades, and when she pulls down, there's razor blades right on her. And that freaks me out.
See,
Razor
mine was
blades
in the
are-
same episode, but mine was the pit of
of the
syringes.
yeah. It was
Just
toss up
imagine,
between those two.
imagine jumping into a pit of syringes.
Nope, can't imagine. I think they were they glass syringes too, instead of
I don't know. they
regular
were-
old plastic ones, because that's also gonna hurt too if you break some of those, because you got glass and then you got needles too.
Yeah. But I like that. I mean, that was a good example, though. I mean, the movies that, if you go back and rewatch it after you watch it, as an example, the movie with Bruce Willis in it, the old.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
No, I'm talking about the scary movie
The
12
M. Night
Monkeys.
Shyamalan one.
with the little kid.
Oh,
The
Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense.
Sixth Sense. Yeah, the
Die
Sixth
Hard
Sense.
2.
That was M. Night Shyamalan though. So
It was one of the deals where you could,
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shalom, lam, lam.
but you watch the movie and then you watch it again, and then you get the whole red balloon and everything, and then you found out exactly how.
Thing
it was
is once you know that he's dead, it's hard to go back and watch it again. It's
Yeah.
not-
Yeah, it's.
Very true.
I see what
Yeah.
you're talking about. The replayability in movies. Like once
Yeah.
you know the twist, it's just like, I've seen it, been there, done that.
yeah.
There is pretty much any M. Night Shyamalan movie actually, because he's famous for those twists at the end.
Now, see, I know how Andy Griffith's always going to end, and
Oh,
Well, he
okay.
did have that one episode of Matlock where he actually lost the case. Just one episode where he lost.
Wow.
there was actually a clown episode too. Do you remember the clown episode when he was at the circus? And
No. I
okay,
can
we
happily
won't
say no.
we won't talk about Matlock then, because I'm figure we'll
Matlock. If you would have asked me before this podcast started if Matlock would ever come up, I would have told you no.
you entered it into the conversation.
I had no idea you were an Andy Griffith fan. So.
Oh yeah, huge. And Don Knotts. Anybody see The Ghost and Mr. Chicken?
Oh my God.
I have
no clue what
forgotten
you're
that
talking
memory in my life.
No?
Thank you for bringing that back up.
The shakiest gun in the West?
Yes.
No.
Nobody. Oh my God.
Well, he is from Morgantown.
If
He is a
you-
local celebrity.
Now, if you go into Ron Howard stuff, yes. Like The Grinch is one of my favorite Christmas movies. So Ron
Yeah.
Howard, yes.
Apollo 18.
Yeah. Ron Howard
Yep.
fan.
Ron Howard. Yep. So we dropped a big bomb over the weekend.
Yes, we did. Thank God.
Oh, you meant literally.
Any opinions?
You're talking figuratively.
I like that. I mean, I like that Trump is keeping his promise of wanting the perception of America to be that we're tough, and so he promised that, and he's making good with that. And I think you can be. I think you can be isolationist and at the same time drop bombs. I think you can, so that you can still have a "don't f with us" mentality. But yeah, you don't have to put troops on the ground in every situation. I think there's and he seems to be walking that line because he pretty much was both an isolationist and both in favor of having a tough military. So, and as you know, I'm not a Trump fan, and I didn't vote for Trump. But as far as trying to do what he's promised, it seems like he's doing that to me.
Yeah. The thing with me on that, of course, I was a Trump fan, but the thing that I'm liking the most as well is that he's listening to his military commanders that are actually out there seeing what's going on and knowing, they're the ones on the field are the one that made the decision to use that exact bomb at that exact place. And it's telling me like it was pretty daggone worth it. Did you hear how many people the final? It was.
No.
Last
I
I
heard
saw
the
this
32.
morning was
Yeah.
100.
It was 90 some. I didn't hear the 100, but I mean, do you know how many soldiers we would have lost?
I mean, the important thing there was
Especially
or
in that
injured.
The
area.
important thing there, I don't even think is, even if it was only 5, the whole thing was they were trying to collapse a series of underground tunnels that
Yeah.
they were using to get around Afghanistan. And so I don't think the number really mattered that much. Now, the other thing I'll say about him too is, as far as one of the other things he made in a campaign promise. And again, I had to keep saying that I'm not a fan because this is another thing that I like about him. Another thing that he did in a campaign promise is said that we don't necessarily need to give away all of our plans of what we're going to do in the press. And so Congress is all pissed off that he didn't go to them about this action that he took on the Thursday when he bombed Syria. But yet his promise was that, hey, we're not going to let the entire world know what we're going to do before we do it.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes sense.
That's the dumbest thing
Yeah.
ever. Why the hell would you go on national TV
Yeah.
and say they've got 24 hours to comply or we're going to drop a bomb
Yeah.
at this place?
But again, I'm not a fan.
Well, it's not even just that. Didn't Obama talk about the raid on Osama bin Laden while they were still trying to
Sure.
scour the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that screwed things up for him.
I just, what I can't stand is when you make a comment like that on, Facebook is the worst place to comment on anything political these days. Because, I made fun of it this past week with the whole, the whole Pirates of the Caribbean. God, did you see that video I posted? It was when I make a comment on
Yes.
Facebook about a political, and it's Captain Jack Sparrow running with all these people after him, and that's the way
yeah.
it is. I just don't know what's, and it's just a different way of people thinking. I realize that, but some of the things, man, I just don't see it that way.
You don't want your enemies what you're going to do to them 24 hours before you do it.
I agree.
You have to do things without them knowing what you're going to do, or they will defend themselves accordingly.
And one of the comments I saw come out there, somebody needs to take Uncle Don's firecrackers away from him before he gets people hurt.
Okay.
I mean, I see both sides of it. I see where people can say, hey, we're a free country. We don't want the president making all of our decisions for us. Congress should be involved. I can see that. But yet, I really like this idea of, let's try to surprise our enemies at times, when we
Yeah.
go to attack them. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm
So as long as he's not doing anything that's against the Constitution or.
I forget actually what the law is, how many days he has before he can go and has to have congressional.
90
Yeah.
days.
I know he said with this Moab thing that basically he just let his, senior generals make the decisions.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
really do.
yeah.
He's letting them do what they have been trained
Right.
for 20, 30, 40 years to do.
Yep.
And another positive thing that happened, I don't want to go too much on this political thing because I don't want to turn this into a political channel, but the Border Patrol, Tillerson? No, he's, I'm sorry, I don't know our secretary was down on the border with the Border Patrol and put the message out that the tell people that our border is no longer open. That if you come, don't come unless you're coming legally. Because if you come and you're coming illegally, you will be deported back. If you are a convicted felon or whatever, you will be arrested. And if you attack our agents, we are going to come down on you like a ton of bricks.
I also saw where he stated that people that have had training in the military are going to get preferential treatment. It's not going to be a 6-month drawn-out process to be hired with them.
Did you realize that some of those roles take 18 months
That's
to
ridiculous.
to get the training to be one? 18 months.
That's too long because by then they have gotten local jobs with local law enforcement,
Right.
sheriff's department, and they're making the money right away instead of being trained. And
That's the way it currently is. They're
Yeah.
they're working on changes with that, but
Yeah.
still, 18 months to become a border patrol. I don't know.
Is it not paid training? I take it.
Well, I'm sure it is, but they don't need people to get paid. They need people to be protecting our borders.
Right.
That's the point, because they're trying to, get more people to enforce it and don't have it. So,
there's a guy that you and I and your wife went to school with. I don't know what agency he's with now. Matt, better not say his name, Matt McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Border Patrol. I don't know who he's with now, DEA, ATF, I'm not sure. But he floats around between the different agencies. Has in the past. And that's makes me think, hey, somebody made a good decision. Well, how can I say this? The people that I hung around with in the past weren't always the what's the word I'm looking for? The cream of the crop back then. So we bent a few rules over in the past, and they are now the ones that have become the police, ATF agents, Air Force captains, so on now. It's weird to look back and see the people you never thought would be in that position are now teaching or doing something with military style enforcement. That's not the way I want to say it. Are now the ones who have bent the rules in the past are now the cops and the firemen and the people you never thought would be in that position. They're the ones that are the best officers, the best police, the best ATF, DEA, whatever. They are now. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Dude.
that's all right. That's all right.
That's a good thing about MS. I can hide my own Easter eggs.
So we do have a cool show coming up here next week, though, with Sheriff Stevenson. I cannot wait for
Steve.
that. Steve Stevenson. Yeah.
Now, Stevens.
Steve Stevens, Officer Stevens, Sheriff Stevens, the sheriff.
Yes.
So I cannot wait to have him here, though. He's been in the thick of the whole overdose thing in the area, and I'm also might be getting a first responder as well.
That would be great.
Yeah. I haven't got it confirmed yet, so I don't want to give his name, but we're trying to get both of them on here. I think we can probably get pretty close to 2 hours worth of talking just on on the drug issues and other law enforcement things in the area. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I do. We appreciate, especially our guests, and especially for people like that will step up to try to help this problem in the area. So can't wait for that. Hear about our new Mexican place coming up out here?
No, tell me about it.
It's
Where at?
out here in front of Kohl's. It's
Oh.
yeah,
So where the
I've been wondering
Verizon
what they
store was there?
No.
no, right next to Go Mart. They're doing all kinds of leveling and stuff there. It's Los
Troncos.
Troncos, yes.
Okay. So there's one of those in Marietta. I'm familiar with it.
Been there?
Yeah, I have.
Good.
I Tampico's still my favorite. everybody has their favorite. You know, some people like Grand Ranch, some people like Los Trancas, some people like Los Agaves, some people like what's the one down here on El Mariachi. I'm a Tampico guy.
I like Gonzalez.
Never heard of it. Oh,
It's at New York, and Las Vegas. But remember the days of Don Emilio's back whenever?
yeah, I still like Don's. I hardly ever go there, but I always like Mexican pizza.
I think they changed whenever they went from the old place to the new
They
place.
did, but then the old owner is actually re-owns it again, John Hale, and so it's
Oh,
pretty
really?
much back to the old menu. And if you drive by there on Tuesday nights when they have family night, it's full again. But they did hurt themselves and ruin their reputation there for a long time when they went
Yeah.
to the new ownership. That's correct.
They had awesome
There's
margaritas.
a fire
there.
somewhere.
Yeah. I
Better
can
jump
hear
on
that
MOV.
cue.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Find out.
The China Garden that used to be there. I wish there was another sit-down Chinese restaurant in town. Did you ever go to China Garden when it was there?
Yeah, I went there, and I used to go to House of Hunan before B-Dubs was there too.
I mean, the only place you can get Chinese food now.
But but the Shogun in Tokyo are good. That's where I go now for.
Are they
We go there
sit-down
for
places?
sushi. Yeah, so it's Shogun is the one next to B-Dubs, and Tokyo is the one next to Five Guys, and they're both very good sit-down places.
Yeah, Shogun. Yeah, actually, that every time we go to B-Dubs, we kind of smell the
Yeah.
air there.
Yep.
We threaten to go in there, but
Yeah.
we have.
I like Tokyo a little bit better, but they're both very good.
Yeah, we have two kids that don't like Chinese food, so we
Yeah,
don't.
and my kids
That's
were
not
never
American.
huge fans.
I'm
My
not
kids
a
were
big
never
fan.
huge fans either. Yeah, so I never
What do you think about fusions?
expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
Good steak. It's
a cool show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they have good sushi too if you're a sushi person.
Yeah.
But
Where I'm from, sushi, that's what we call bait.
yeah.
Something I did when I don't know if we had a show since I went to Charleston or not.
By the way, your dad says the set looks great. So
Oh, great.
Thank you.
there's 10 new lights in here, Dave. So it really helped. Other than that, we didn't change anything yet.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Love that
Seafood.
town.
Seafood was.
You know, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, there's so much to see down there. So much to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I mean, I
I was going to interrupt you again anyway. I wanted to hear about DuPont with the palm trees. I remember you saying something about that.
yeah, I found our retirement spot. Just
Okay.
so anywhere down in that area, I'd be totally okay with.
Yeah.
You
I love palms.
You got the beach area there. Just I mean, minutes away from the place. You got the seafood was incredible. We went to 3 different places, and I would rate all 3 of them
Oh, really?
a 10.
Well,
Yeah.
going down there compared
Yeah, it's
to
different. Because the same way when I was in Massachusetts, I had lobster that just put Red Lobster to shame. If that's the only lobster you ever had in
Oh,
your
it's
life.
it's
Yeah.
just so much different.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes right, and I don't know what it is. It's like there's like a pasty taste to stuff
Yeah.
that's been frozen or whatever. And
Yeah.
you don't have that pasty taste when it comes directly from there on to.
well, when you order something off the menu, you know it's only been out of the sea for hours instead of days and days like it is around here. Food is so much better down there.
But the DuPont, to answer your question, the DuPont down there did have palm trees, and it was like 80 degrees. It was, despite not having my family there, the weather and everything was awesome. I mean, it was a good experience. I mean, I wouldn't mind living there.
It's
You know,
beautiful.
I always said from North Carolina down, I would be happy with moving to. So that was my taste of going even further than that, and I like it. So
Did you go to the Battery or the Slave Market? Pretty much the same place, but
yeah. Actually, that is where two of the seafood restaurants were right there next to where the slave market was.
Yeah.
They had a few things going on there, but that was they were also doing they have a Charleston bridge. It's this cool suspension type bridge, and they
Yeah.
have a walk run type thing there every year, and that was going on. So there was more attention toward that than so much on the slave market. But
yeah.
it was a pretty cool experience. Then we went next to went to the Darlington Speedway, and which I think we did have this conversation. Now I think about it because we talked about NASCAR and stuff, but it's just it's a shame to how NASCAR went to where it was. So,
corporate
yeah,
badly
yeah.
missing on the original tracks. But at least we still have my hometown, Martinsville, Virginia. Martinsville, Virginia. I can't see it. Down there, people talk real funny. That's why I have a strange voice. Always see, that's why. Down there, there's a town called Stewart, West Virginia. But Stewart, Virginia, I'm sorry. Down there, it's pronounced Stewart. It's just the way their slang is down there. It's pronounced very strange.
Stewart.
Stewart. It's still said with the W's. It's Stewart. Strange.
So what's up? I mean, you follow a little. I follow the top of the sports. You get more down into the nitty gritty of stuff. So what's going on with the Cowboys quarterback?
So, while we were out,
is
he quit and went into broadcasting. So, I don't think he's been officially released by the Cowboys yet, but seems like it's a done deal. He's supposed to join the play-by-play team. I think they said they're going to team him up with Vern Lundquist, and he's going to be his color guy or on CBS or something like that, which is ironic because he won't be doing NFC games with CBS. So, because that's the Fox team.
Yeah, because there were some things, and I don't follow as close as I probably should, but I'd seen a report where they were talking about in Carolina, for some reason or other, taking him there. I don't know why they would want that payroll.
Yeah. So there's always the chance that he could become somebody's emergency quarterback or something like that. But you remember all those years, year after year after year, there was the rumor that Bill Cowher is going to coach here next. Bill Cowher is going to coach there next. And he didn't. He loved broadcasting. He stayed in broadcasting, and he loved the pressure of not being a coach. Tony, he's been hurt. He hasn't finished an entire season in I don't remember how long, and he's had some pretty serious back and shoulder problems, and he may be really ready to get out. And I'm sure the paycheck from CBS is probably not that bad. It's probably not NFL money, but.
So what's up with Gruden? He was a Buccaneers coach, and
probably the same thing. He's a very good color commentator, so
yeah,
just never got the coaching bug again, I guess.
Well, I'm sure that CBS and ABC, Fox, ESPN is offering about the same amount of money that they were making playing football and coaching football than what they get,
right.
They just get the same amount now.
Yeah, I don't think that information's public, so we don't know, but it could
that's
very
the only
well
way,
be.
That's
Yeah,
the only way I'd see that would keep them from going back.
sure.
Is the amount of money, because you think how much they make off of.
Well, the other thing is, how much
commercial.
do you need to live on? Even if it's only $1 million.
Yeah, you can invest
good
that
God.
and live comfortably for the rest of your life.
on interest.
Yeah.
Amen.
Pretty much.
Amen. Now we're getting to that point in the show where we're trying to think of things to talk about.
Oh, no, I've still got more.
Bring them on.
So I decided to make this a thing a couple weeks ago. So we've got the MOV What's Happening story of the week. So are both of you in the MOV What's Happening group on Facebook?
No,
Yes.
I hear you guys talk about it
Okay,
all the
so-
time. Though.
I picked out this MOV story of the week. It says, "Standoff in Davisville? Man with handgun holding up traffic."
What amount of traffic goes into Davisville?
So he was holding up one car then?
I don't know.
But that's
There's-
just one of the awesome posts you'll see if you join MOV What's Happening.
There's at least 4 streets you can get out of the back of Davisville in. You have to go out the one street with the armed guard. Turn up another damn street. Come on.
I'm surprised Missy doesn't post some things on there. She listens to the Scanner quite a bit.
Well, then she can tell us what the sirens were in South Parkersburg just now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised somebody hadn't I'm surprised somebody hasn't posted that already.
We
I heard a fire truck
I
at
haven't
first.
refreshed. Let me go up here and refresh and see if we've got anything.
Heard a fire truck and
Yeah, I
sounded
heard
like
police too.
two
Yeah.
police and maybe one ambulance.
Nope, nothing new.
Not around here, but you do.
We just see the douchebag that parked in the. That's not your truck, by the way, is it, Craig? That was parked in the
No, it's
handicap
not mine.
spot of Planet Fitness.
No, that's not mine.
Good. I was hoping it wasn't.
No.
Actually, I was hoping it was, but
So you could tag them in it, call them out.
Yeah, that's another good thing about having MS. I get the real good parking.
Yeah,
But
you
that
do.
little blue placard and away I go.
Ah,
No, but they sure did. Did you see how many comments? were
what
on
are we
that?
up to now? Let's see.
They are reading them. Just keep putting them up.
It doesn't say the number.
It was a pretty long string. Whenever
I've
looked
seen some of
over
those
this.
be 300 comments long. And,
How many comments can you make about somebody parking wrong?
yeah.
But yeah, that should fall under one of the. I mean, that's got to fall under one of the ridiculous posts. I mean, it's funny, but ridiculous. I think.
Okay, so the other thing I had, this will be right up your alley and mine actually, is
Okay.
Microsoft released the Windows 10 Creators Update this week,
yep, I updated.
and
I'm liking it so far. What about you?
well, I don't. So the actual creators stuff that's in it, like the Paint 3D,
Paint 3D.
is nothing that I'll ever use. That's
I was actually about to try that out because I was going to see if I could do a animated logo with it. You know, move it over into Adobe Premiere and use it as an intro. But I haven't tested it out yet.
But no, I haven't upgraded it yet. I'm still on anniversary update. So
I mean, it's nice because I got Windows 10 for free through the college, but the version I chose was the education version because it has some features that you can't even get on Pro. But I didn't know that it also did not come with Cortana.
I
she's
see.
deactivated. You can't use her. But whenever I updated to the creators update, I suddenly had Cortana.
Oh, wow.
So I got that added benefit. It's a benefit to me because I enjoy
disable
her.
it.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But they also added a game feature, I guess it is whenever you boot up a game that you're playing on PC.
Yeah,
you,
game mode. I've heard about.
yeah,
that,
you hold Windows G and it pulls up a thing to where you can take screenshots, you can record video, or you can broadcast live to Beam, which
Right.
is what Microsoft bought out.
Yeah.
And I've actually found a lot of use in that.
Right, and then the other important feature in that also is that it minimizes CPU usage of background processes
Sure
when you're
does.
playing games.
I mean, it's not really an issue for what I built. but-
right. right. So yeah, if you have an Alienware PC or something
No,
like
I-
that, then yeah.
Yeah, I built this thing from scratch. I don't
Yeah.
know if I ever showed you all the components of it.
We saw a cool. Since we're talking tech, we saw a cool virtual reality thing when we were out in Vegas. It's,
Oh, really?
It's a whole. Well, I mean, I've seen the whole thing whether you're sitting in the seat in the roller coaster and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had this dude put into a harness and was tied up to the ceiling. And it would just lift him up just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And what the virtual reality thing was actually standing on the ledge of a building with a plank out.
Oh yeah,
And you're turning around like this.
Oh, wow.
And they
I've
had
seen
that,
those.
had that harness on him so he wouldn't fall down.
It's
Wow.
you're talking to where like he wasn't in any actual danger.
Right.
Like, yeah, it was okay. Yeah,
It was just holding him so he wouldn't fall, as
Right.
basically.
Yeah, people. It's crazy how that just tricks your mind like that because you know where you're at. You know you're not going to fall off a building and stuff. But it's crazy how immersive that is to where like it legitimately frightens you to
Oh, yeah.
be doing that stuff.
Yeah, my son
Yeah,
Zach brought-
Zach owns one.
brought his over here one day and was hooked up to Matt's PC. And after going, I was fine in the haunted house thing where you walk through and things jump out at you. I was cool. But after I rode that stupid roller coaster, and I love riding roller coasters. I mean, I can ride them all day long, never feel a bit of motion sickness.
It made you sick. didn't
I
it?
was
Yeah.
not feeling.
They've
good.
said that can give you headaches.
Yeah,
and
some
all kinds of
people,
stuff.
some people it gets them really bad and they can't really figure out why.
Yeah, and I don't get motion sickness. I mean,
Yeah.
planes, but that was something. But I can't go around in circles. If it's anything that's going around in circles,
I haven't gone to try a VR headset myself, actually. I mean, Zach's offered for me to come over, and I just haven't had time to do it, but I am excited to try it out. I think it's going to go places this time around, because this is pretty much the second time around that.
it's going across. I mean, it's showing up all over the place. So yeah, I agree. Amusement parks, good thing to go into.
Amen.
Scott, you go to amusement parks?
I don't. The last time I was at Cedar Point or Kings Island, the years started in 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just not my thing.
That would have been back whenever the indoor roller coaster come out. Probably I can't remember.
I'm talking
They
about
changed
like
it.
the last thing I was riding was the Vortex, and
Oh wow.
the Beast was still around, and they just brought out the King Cobra, the stand-up one. And,
Yeah, come
That's
to think of it, the indoor
1980s.
coaster was the
Yeah.
2000s. So.
it probably would have been or early 1990. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Kendrick? You like roller coasters?
Yeah, I was
Stuff?
at Cedar Point last year. Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. It's just a matter of getting there. Like,
Yeah. Are you able to still ride roller coasters and stuff?
I haven't ridden them in 4 years, but I love coasters. That's another good thing about having MS. I go the front line. I go right up the X ramp and get right on.
Yeah. Well, the Kings
Well, you
Island.
got to look for the good sides of everything.
oh, yeah.
Kings Island has a new one this year. They've been touting this whole. I don't know if you followed any of the trailers on about what's in the shack. Have you seen any of the advertisements for
No.
it? I just wondered if anybody had heard anything of what's in the shack. It goes through the whole spiel of the coaster, and it gets to the end, and it shows the track ending in the shack, and I just.
Is that the name of the ride?
It's called. Just a second here. I will get the name of it.
The deal with coasters to me is they terrify the heck out of me, and I mean even the one at Regal Cinemas bothers me. I don't even like that one.
I used to date a woman, and she swore up and down, if you cross your eyes during that, you'll think you're on a real roller coaster.
Ah,
So,
it scares me.
Might have
just-
to try that next time.
Yeah, actually, a little tidbit of information for those coaster riders.
I did see that thing about the Beast.
Yeah, 1979.
yeah, I was there.
And by the way, wood
was there.
coasters beat the hell out of you.
I remember.
Yeah, they do.
Ride 'em.
I remember waiting in line. My dad and uncle, I believe, if I remember right, waited in that line for 2 or 3 hours. I think it was wrapped clear out past where the Eiffel Tower is in Kings Island.
Yeah.
And they waited that long for that coaster, and it's still to this day one of the best,
Oh,
in my
without a
opinion.
doubt. Without a doubt.
one of the best ones. Mystic Timbers is the name of their new coaster that's coming out this
So
year.
that's another wood coaster.
Yeah, it'll be another wood coaster.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why, have you ever ridden? Did you ride the original Son of Beast
Yeah, I've ridden it. Yeah, I've ridden
Yeah.
the Beast and Son of
with,
Beast.
with the loop?
Beat the living
Yeah.
crap out of you. Yeah.
Amen.
I
But-
rode it like 2 days before it had an accident.
Racer was always my favorite.
Yeah. No, but I'm in a club. It's called American Coaster Enthusiasts, where if you go to Cedar Point, Kings Island on certain days, they actually shut down the park. It's like the first weekend in June up at Cedar Point, where they close the park at 9:30 after the fireworks. If you're a member of the club, you can stay and ride till like 1:30 or 2.
whoa.
And only certain coasters at that time. But it's cool. Like
That would be cool.
so there's no lines, no nothing. You're just there riding the coasters.
Something happened like that to me. I think my first time ever at Cedar Point, I was probably about 12. They do the whole fireworks and laser
Yeah.
show and stuff. And my cousin and I, we just kept riding the Iron Dragon. And I remember it being really dark, and we could get off of the coaster and then run all the way back up to the top and get right back on it.
Yeah.
That was the best time ever. But every time I've been to Cedar Point since, like, you can't ever get on them at night. So
The last one I remember at Cedar Point, or not Cedar Point, Kings Island, was when they brought in, what's that ride called? The new, not new now. It's a snake themed ride, Diamondback. My brother rode it at that certain times I was talking about, where he would get off the coaster, run out, run back through the line, and he would get on the next roller coaster. The one he was on would leave, and he would get on the next one. He rode it 13 times in an hour, or something like that. Some amazing amount of time. He rode every single seat that night, 16 times in an hour and a half, we'll say. He rode it. That's got a strong stomach. I don't care who you are. That's going to make your stomach quease.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if you're going for coasters, I think Cedar Point is still
Oh, yeah.
is still the
Oh,
leader on coasters.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going for a family thing, Kings Island.
Kings Island, yeah.
Although they're coming up. So ever since Cedar Fair bought them in Carowinds,
Yeah.
they've put their stamp on it. Diamondback, and then now this whole Timbers thing.
I've
So,
always been a water park guy. I like Kalahari and Great Wolf Lodge and places
My
like that.
problem with water
like 'em.
rides, you ride and you're wet. You're walking around soaking shoes for the rest of the damn day.
No, this is like indoor water park.
yeah, if you're actually going to an actual water park.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get-
Yeah.
I don't do the closed tubes rides.
Oh, really? Why not?
It
Freaks
freaks
you
me out. I have a fear of getting stuck and it filling up with water.
So mine is that's the reason I don't like the coasters is that first hill. Just going up that first hill where it's pulling you up. I'm absolutely terrified.
height.
Is it the anticipation of dropping,
it's that-
or is it
'cause
just how
it's good-
slow
no,
you
no.
are?
It's,
and
it's
how
literally
high?
that point where you're going up over that thing so
Okay.
slowly and about to go down.
I could see it,
I'd
but,
rather,
I mean-
I'd rather die.
to most people, that's the thrill of it. But I see where you're coming from. They have the power tower at Cedar Point. There's two different sides. One of them shoots you up. One of them takes you up to the top and then drops you. I don't do the one where it takes you up to the top and it drops you because of the anticipation. The timing is different each time you ride it. So you're sitting up there and you're looking out over Lake Erie and you don't know when they're going to drop you. I can't deal with that. Can't do it.
And that one at Kings Island is even worse. The
Is it?
stunt tower, I don't know what they call it now, but the one that's the circle, looks like an octopus. It's worse.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever ridden the swings? The one where they attach you to a swing?
Oh,
They pick you
yeah.
up? Oh, I love that.
That's in the kids section, isn't it?
No, it's right outside of
They call it a sky coaster now, I think. I think that's what
I
you're
don't
talking
know.
about. It's where
Yeah.
they put you in a harness and they pull you up and you have to
Yeah.
pull your own. It's like
Yeah.
sealing your own death.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the big
I know what you're talking about. Is that the one that you had to pay money? Like,
Yeah.
within it? Okay.
Like for-
I've never actually gone to do that. I've wanted to do it.
It's fun because there's an initial drop where you drop about 10 feet before the ropes grab on and
Yeah.
swing you. So that little bit, you're thinking, oh shit, I can't. I hope those ropes catch. You're thinking, my free fall. It's cool.
What about those ones they put in the caverns? Or not
Yeah, I was
caverns,
going to say
but
they do that same thing, like in the Grand Canyon.
The Grand
pretty
Canyon. Yeah, the
much.
canyons is what I was meant to say. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine
No.
that long of a drop
Hell
before
no.
it catches you?
Not doing it.
I'm worse than that, dude. I can't even go out on that skywalk on Grand Canyon West for the glass platform.
I don't
No,
think
agree
Missy
with
could
you.
do that.
I couldn't do that.
I'm pretty sure she can't.
I can in aquariums and stuff that have glass bottoms.
Yeah.
I have to wait till there's nobody. Or
Yeah.
Like if there's nowhere else to go, and then I like run
Yeah,
across
I can understand.
down.
That
Can
pole that
understand.
goes over the top of that building was just circulating on Facebook. Don't know if you guys saw it.
What was it?
Some architect designed a pole that overlaps the side of a building.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And you can see the road underneath of you while you're swimming in a pool. And that's kind of freaky. I don't know how many stories up it was. It was
pool?
high. It was
Yeah.
a pool. Yeah. It's made out of
Yeah.
I don't know, like 8-inch thick plexi.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's thick enough.
That'll make your butt fucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that one thing in Chicago where they have the glass walkout thing or whatever. I mean, the one that I think it made news.
That's in the what building is that? I know what you're talking about. It's in a building in Chicago, right?
yeah.
Sears Tower?
What is it?
Sears Tower.
It might be. It's
maybe.
when
I don't think Sears Tower called Sears Tower
Wow.
anymore though.
That's what I know about it.
It's not ringing a
always-
bell for me.
went out with the bankruptcy probably.
Yeah.
It's not Kmart Tower either.
Now, Greg, you're always talking about Vegas. Have you ever done the stratosphere jump?
Nope.
Would you
Nope.
ever
I
do
will.
it?
I will do a lot of things. I mean, I will. I won't hop. I won't jump out of an airplane, and I won't do the sky jumping off the tower in Vegas.
I gotta
I can tell
say,
you
my
that.
my brother did that. I have the utmost respect for him doing that. he did the videotape and did it all, did the jump. And that's just amazing.
And it doesn't really, the height thing doesn't really bother me. This would kind of fall, I guess, under the anticipation thing. I think of, you're standing up on this one little plank, hooked to a little
I
cable.
was wondering what you guys were talking
Yeah.
about. I was about to Google it. Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that.
and it is a controlled fall.
Couldn't do
It's
Yeah.
not a free fall, but
Right.
it's as close to a free fall as you can possibly get.
And survive.
Yeah, and survive. Yeah.
They also have a roller coaster up on the top.
It took it out.
They took the roller coaster, they took the rides out. They had 3
The rides are there.
Okay.
But they took the roller coaster route.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they still have the thing that shoots you up,
Yeah.
and they still have the thing that holds you out over the edge and spins you around.
What about the mini coaster that slides you out over the edge?
Yes, they still have that.
Okay. I couldn't do that one, I don't think. That's,
Yeah.
no.
When it comes to coasters, I think the fact that you're moving so fast helps with the height of it. Stuff like that, I don't think I could do. Stuff
I-
where you slowly go out over
Yeah.
no.
I can actually say I used coasters to for my fear of heights. Just for the challenge, and if they were safe, or I felt safe at least, I'd ride coasters. The highest one, Cedar Point, what's that? Top thrill
Top Thrill Dragster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you one of my favorite coasters, though, is the one that's on the ground, that Maverick.
Oh, yeah, that red one.
Yeah, it's the first one I've ever ridden with when you go up a hill, there's no chain. It's done by
Yeah.
electromagnets. It pushes you up the hill and almost pushes you over the hill.
Yeah.
You never get to the top.
That's one of the few coasters that has an inverted first drop.
Yeah. 95
It-
degrees.
Yeah, it's not a 90-degree angle; it's a 95. It goes in a little bit, so that's why that first drop, it feels different than
Missy can't
other
ride it
coasters.
anymore. It banged her. They have that special harness thing that comes down around or bar or whatever, and she banged her head off of it. And
Yeah, it did that to me too the last time.
I wouldn't put it past that was a concussion. It was, yeah.
By the way, this is Missy over here. We're looking at Craig's wife.
Yeah, I'd turn the camera that way, but I
Yeah.
can't reach it. So, but anyway. What else you got, Scott?
It's 7:59. What else? What else is there to say?
If you like coasters, we're going to have to go this summer. That way I can get you the front of the line real easy.
Yeah, we don't have to buy the fast passes.
Yeah.
Spend a hell of a lot
Or
of
you
money
can go
on
up
that.
there and just go, and get right over it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
Talk about
it's-
next week.
yep. Next week, man, we got Sheriff Stevens and possibly a first responder. We're going to talk about law enforcement issues and the important subject around ODs.
So we're here every Sunday at 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. So make sure you join us live, and thank you so much for watching and listening.
Happy Easter, everybody.
all day.